Hi, this is Dr. Chenik, and I want to give you a sit rep as to what's happening in Iran and our aircraft carrier, the Abraham Lincoln. I'm very much concerned that we could be precipitating a major war, not a low intensity conflict or LIC, because John Bolton and Pompeo, as I've said, are both disorganized, incompetent, and quite corrupt in terms of their past history. Let me explain what I mean. It was Bolton who wanted to have the war in Iraq, and that's what he proposed. Of course, Bolton wasn't smart enough to realize that when we took apart Iraq and we invaded it over 12 years, and between Iraq and Afghanistan we lost 60,000 American soldiers wounded and killed, that in fact what would be the most predominant power was Iran. And this is Bolton's key to our success. He created the strength of Iran, and Iran now patrols the Straits of Hormuz, a very narrow slip of water where 40% of all the oil transits from the Persian Gulf out into the Straits of Hormuz and then to the rest of the world. There, the Iran Revolutionary Guard under Soleimani will confront our carrier, and we hope that there will not be a conflict. If there is a conflict, it has to be conflicted very quickly by Trump, who says he does not want a war. Now, why am I concerned? Number one, not is Bolton a coward and never served our country and was a draft dodger after encouraging us to go to war in Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan, but also Bolton's judgment is disastrous. He was the one who supported MEK as a substitute for Khomeini. Let me explain who the MEK is. That's the Mujahideen of the people, and that was a revolutionary group that killed 3 of my colonels, 1 of my brigadier generals, and countless numbers of my CIA operatives and Foreign Service officers. In total, maybe over 100 Americans during the period of 73 and 75, destroying 10 buildings. The head of the MEK is what Bolton wants as the leader of Iran, the new Iran. This is Bolton, the idiot savant who had no idea how dangerous and what a terrorist group the MEK was, because I had to confront them directly as a young colonel and as a deputy assistant secretary under Nixon, Ford, Carter. And I had to be able to extract out my personnel from the State Department, from the military, and from the CIA. Now, once we get into that conflict, what is Bolton going to do? He's going to increase the tension and say, oh, we clearly have to fight back, because his ability to contain a conflict is binary. It's 0 and 1. He doesn't know how to negotiate any kind of conflict. He doesn't know how to deconflict it. Neither does Pompeo. He spent 4 or 5 years in West Point and another 4 years to maintain his obligation to the military and got out. So we have 2 very incompetent individuals servicing a very competent president who repeatedly said, I do not want a war. I do not want a war with Iran. Well, the problem is he's heading in a carrier plus 4 B-52 bombers and Patriot missile systems that will all confront the Iran Revolutionary Guard, and an exceedingly smart leader, Soleimani. I've spent time in Iran. I've spent time with Nasrallah of the Hezbollah, and I can assure you that Hezbollah can destroy Israel if it wants to with 130,000 rockets. Let me quote Mark Twain, who said, patriotism is the ability to swear allegiance to the Republic and to denigrate governments from time to time. Thank you and good luck.